Hey guys, and welcome to the first part of my new LP. Overall, this part's probably going to be mostly introductions, but I wanted to kind of tell you a little bit about what we're doing and introduce you to the characters before we get started. And before anybody says anything like throwing shade or anything, I just want to put this out there. I was definitely inspired by Deli Gracie to do this LP. She has one called Scream Sorority, which is kind of based on the TV show Scream Queens. I'll have it linked down below to the first episode. I haven't watched the whole thing yet, but it's really good. So it definitely heavily inspired me. And basically, I was watching that and then I started watching Friday the 13th because if you guys know me, you might not know me. If you're new to my channel, hey, what's up? I'm Tori. And if you're a continued subscriber, then thanks for watching. But if you know me, if you're one of the ones that's always here, you'll know that I love horror stuff, and you probably know that I have a makeup channel. Shameless plug. It's in the description if you're interested. But I do special effects makeup. And so basically, long story short, even though I'm rambling, I was watching Friday the 13th and I was inspired to make a LP that combined Deli's idea of a murder mystery and the classic Camp Crystal Lake Friday the 13th vibe. So let's go ahead and get into it. Basically, the name of the LP, as I'm sure you could tell by the title sequence, was the Camp Clearwater Killer. And it is a murder mystery, and basically throughout the series I'm going to be killing off Sims, and you guys are going to try to guess who did it. So let's go ahead and introduce you to the characters. Basically, my idea behind this is that there was a camp and it was closed down, and one of the men in the men's camp, had an idea to start up the camp again. And so he rounded up a bunch of college students and an investor, and they came to this place to set it up to get ready for kids and to train to be camp counselors so that they could, be ready for when the kids got there. But, things don't always go according to plan. So, anyways, our chaperone for the girls' cabin is Miss Blair Brumfield. They call her Miss Brumfield. She is a master chef. Well, that's her goal at least. She is a foodie, a loner, a bit hot-headed, and she has the essence of flavor. And basically, she doesn't want to be here. She only took the job because she's basically getting paid to be on vacation and just make sure that the girls don't get into any trouble. But overall, she's kind of grumpy about it, doesn't want to be here. Next, we have Christy Bassett, who Christy is always on the computer. She is our resident nerd. Her aspiration is to have a nerd brain. She is a perfectionist, a bit clumsy, a geek, and a quick learner. And Christy does not fit in here. She wanted to come here for the college credit and for it to look good on her resume. But basically, she ended up here with a group of girls who just wants to party, and it's just not her thing. And so she feels a little bit like an outcast, but she doesn't let it bother her too much because she's focused on school, and her friend Wendell came, and he's over in the boys' camp, so she's okay with it. And then over here in the sauna, we have basically our queen bee. This is Skylar Bradford, and she is the leader of the pack, and she's an insider, a snob, gregarious, and she's a little bit jealous. So even though, she's considered basically the hottest thing around, and it looks like she's probably going to go be mean to Christy, even though she's considered basically the hottest thing around, and she's very beautiful and dating pretty much the hottest boy that there is in the camp, she's insecure and she gets jealous easily. So that is Skylar, and like I said, she's not very nice to Christy. She doesn't like Christy. She's probably being fake nice to her right now. Next, we have Lexi Morris, and Lexi is Skylar's best friend. She is, their BFF, and they tell each other everything. She wants to find her soulmate, and she'll basically do anything to find her soulmate. She's very outgoing, very self-assured, romantic, and alluring. So she doesn't have the problem with insecurity because she knows she's hot shit. So then we have the third in the group of girls that is like considered the popular group. We have Rosalie Woodson, who is right here walking after Skylar. I don't know why Skylar's so grumpy, but she is. I guess it's just par for the course. That's how she is. Anyways, this is Rosalie, and Rosalie, she is friends with the girls, but not really. I mean, she's nice to them, but she's really only friends with them because they've been friends for a long time. I feel like if she met them now, she probably wouldn't be friends with them. And she wants to be a best-selling author. She is cheerful, a bookworm, creative, and a muser, and she's actually really nice to Christy. She's overall nice, pretty much nice to everybody. And she, as you can see, is a little bit chunky, and the other girls kind of make fun of her for that. Skylar's really thin and curvy, and as you saw, Lexi is very, very built, so they kind of pick on her, and I think deep down she knows they're not the best friends to have, but like I said, they've known each other for a long time, so they kind of hang out anyways. And then lastly in the girls' cabin, we have Brittany Ellis, who is the new girl around, and basically she wants Skylar's place. Like, she wants to be Skylar. Not literally, but like she wants to be the leader of the pack. And she is creative, a genius, gregarious, and a kleptomaniac. And she wants to steal Skylar's place. And Skylar knows that she can take her place. And so, as you can see, she's not too happy about it. And so she's pretty mean to Brittany. But Brittany actually has been talking to Rosalie a lot. And so I think, there might be some drama with that because Rosalie is actually really good friends with Brittany, and Skylar's made it very clear that she does not want her in the group. So that is basically the girls. And let me go ahead and give you a little overview of their cabin. I did not make this cabin. I found it on the gallery. I did add a few things to it to help fit like my LP or whatever, but it was made by Pinkie Pie 1002 on the gallery. Very, very pretty. If you search like most popular cabins, it pops up. And actually, just as like a disclaimer, I was totally going to do this Let's Play in Granite Falls, but you actually can't take more than 8 Sims to Granite Falls. So instead, what I did was I took over this island in Windenburg and I turned it into the camp. So right here we have the girls' cabin. Over here we have the boys' cabin, which was made by Ruthless_KK on the gallery as well. It's also under popular cabins. And then if we come along here, like we have a little bonfire area. But up here is actually the camp itself. So this is like the base of Camp Clearwater, and this is on the gallery. It's just called Camp Clearwater. I did make this, and as you can see, there's like tents, and there's basically like a recreation center and just like a swimming pool and things for them to do here. So basically they're going to come here during the day and stuff. The cabins are just obviously because they can't really have a home base on a community lot, if that makes sense. And if you really don't want to hear me talk like about the characters and the introductions and stuff, I'll do it in 2 separate parts and I'll just post them at the same time. So if you wanted to skip this and go straight to gameplay, you can go ahead and watch part 2, which, should be, I might list it below. If not, it'll be in the same playlist, so you can just skip on to that one if I'm boring you with the talking. But I feel like it's important to kind of know the characters so that you can know the storyline. But anyways, let's switch over to the boys' camp. And here's a quick overview. So this island here is basically the camp area, and then this will be like the town they're from. And I thought that that was kind of cool because it's kind of hard to get off an island. So if you're stuck on it with a killer, then things are not going to go your way. And just if you're curious how I set up, I'll probably put things there later. But over here we have the bluffs. Here is it says Von Windenburg Estate, but that's Camp Clearwater. Then we have the boys' camp right here, and then we have the girls' camp right there. So let's head over to meet the boys. Alright, so now we are at the boys' camp, and here is one of the chaperones, and he's actually the one who kind of came up with the idea of opening up the camp again. And this is Otto Fitch. He is an outdoor enthusiast and he loves the outdoors. He's cheerful, he's a goofball, a bit of a collector, and he basically thought of this whole thing, like of starting up this camp again because he went here when he was a kid and he loved it, and now he thinks that it would be great to have it open again. So he is the one that started up this whole thing of inviting everyone here, but oh, he caught a fish. Good for him. But Otto, being a teacher, I kind of thought that he was like a biology teacher, maybe. Um, he doesn't have a lot of money, and so he didn't have enough money to start up this camp himself. So he hired, well, not hired, but got in touch with this guy. This is Adam Larson, and Adam is basically the pockets behind the camp. Like, he is the financial investor. As you can tell, in his little boat shoes and cargo shorts and polo, he's not really equipped for the outdoors. He's not much of an outdoors person. He cares more about money. He's materialistic, ambitious, a snob, and he's business savvy. So he's just here to make sure that his money basically is going to a good cause and that everything's going to work out and he's going to make the most out of this business venture. Then we have Elliot McConnell. And Elliot is basically your stereotypical jock boy, and he is Skylar's boyfriend, and he is, pretty cute, pretty muscular. He wants to be a bodybuilder. He's active, self-assured, a little bit hot-headed, and he has a high metabolism. So he is with Skylar, but you didn't hear it from me. He's got a little bit of a crush on someone else, which could cause some issues. Over here, oh, that was awkward. If he'll stop walking away from us. Right here, we have Ty Neves. I'm trying to show you guys their names so you know how they're spelled. We have Ty Neves, and Ty is Elliot's best friend. He wants to be a mixologist. He loves the outdoors. He's a little bit childish, foodie, and he has the essence of flavor. And Ty is a very snappy dresser. He cares a lot about his appearance. He takes pride in, being an attractive male sim, which he definitely is. And, you can tell just by the way he walks that he is a very proud sim. And there he is talking to his friend. So that is Ty. Over here we have Mr. Wendell Harris, and Wendell is actually Christy's best friend. He doesn't really fit into this cabin too much. He does have a little bit of a relationship with Benji, but he doesn't really fit in with the more, quote-unquote popular group. And Wendell is a geek. He wants to be a computer whiz. He is neat, a geek, a genius, and a quick learner. So he pretty much just keeps to himself, and he again is here basically because Christy dragged him along. She didn't want to come by herself, so he kind of got dragged into this. And then up here we have Mr. Benji Ellis, and Benji is actually, if I can show her, Benji is actually Brittany's twin. So they are the new kids in town. As you can see, Benji is definitely alternative. He's got a big old mohawk and tattoos. He is a party animal, a music lover, creative, outgoing, and he is gregarious. And Benji actually has his eye on Ty. So that should be interesting because I don't think Ty knows, but Benji's got a little bit of a crush on him. And he's not exactly shy, but as you can see, he's kind of hiding up in, actually this is Otto's room, but yeah, so those are all of our characters. I guess we'll go back down here to, showing off as always. So those are all of the characters that we will have in this LP, and like I said, sadly, they're slowly going to be killed off, and it is going to be your guys' job to guess who the killer is. And, with the drama that's about to take place and the things that are going to be happening, it's really could be anybody. Wendell's feeling flirty too. You never really know. And like I said, I was inspired by Deli. It's not the same story as Deli. I definitely made my own, so if you have any negative comments about that, please keep them to yourself because I have been working. I actually watched Friday the 13th on Friday the 13th. So I've been working on this thing since Friday the 13th. And I've put my heart and soul into it. And I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but I put a lot of care into it and it took a lot of planning and work. And I'm just really excited. And I hope you guys are too. And I hope you enjoy it. Oh, and I just wanted to say too that the killer is in a bear costume, which I'm sure you saw from the opening. And I really tried to find a different costume because I know Deli uses a bear costume too, but the only way to basically, if I were to use any other costume in The Sims 4, you could tell if the killer was male or female. The only costume that fully disguises between male and female is the bear costume. So I made sure to make the bear a different color, and we're gonna do it totally. It's a totally separate thing, but you should check out Deli's if you haven't watched it yet. Her murder mystery is awesome. She's doing a really good job with it. I can't wait to finish it, but yeah, anyways, just a bunch of disclaimers and introductions. And like I said, if you don't want to hear this, I don't know why you're still listening to it. You could have skipped, but yeah, go ahead and watch part two. Part two is actual gameplay. And I hope that you guys enjoy this LP. Like I said, I've been working really hard on it since the 13th, and I'm just super excited to get into the story. So, as always, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye, everybody!